I have a question for you. What do you think separates a good game from a very good game? I want you to pause the video real quick and think about this. Feel free to leave a comment if you want. Now for me, I have two categories when it comes to ranking video games: gameplay and story. When a game captures one of these very well, I consider that a good game. And when a game does both of these, that's a very good game. Now that's my pretty short, simple answer to the question, and I could go deeper on this, but I don't feel like I need to. In this video, I'll be talking about a good game, not a very good game. And that game is Ghost of Yotei. The problem with Yotei is its peak, but only in one region, and that would be in the gameplay region. I would go as far to say that this game probably has the best combat I've ever personally played. The leveling system with the shrines and the wolf dens is also such a captivating way to progress this character within the game. All this peak gameplay, but in my opinion, a pretty bland and unengaging story. Like, the biggest problem with the game is literally the main story. It just lacks what I consider a good storyline. Also, the characters are pretty mid. The biggest fumble was the Yotei 6. I feel like they could have all had their own story that drove the plot harder. Like, the game could have made us feel for the characters. I just didn't care about any of them. Now, huge spoiler alert, but I didn't really care when Jubei died. It just felt like it had to happen for the plot. Like, it didn't really have any substance to it. It just felt like it had to happen. It was like a device to make the plot sound more sad. They just needed someone to go, you know? Now you're probably wondering, why am I saying all this? Is because I don't think the Yotei devs don't know how to write like a good story. I just think they messed up on the main story of this game. Cause I'm not gonna lie, Ghost of Tsushima had such a good main story. So what happened for Ghost of Yotei? But anyways, enough about the bad of Yotei. Let's talk about the good. And in my opinion, one of the best things in the Ghost of Yotei writing wise would be Ugetsu's myths. This was one of the best part of the game in my opinion. I want to talk about a specific Ugetsu story, the Spider Lily armor quest. Now the Spider Lily armor quest is my personal favorite part of the whole game. Let me explain why. So this quest starts with Atsu walking up to an abandoned mysterious gate only to be stopped by Ugetsu before she enters. Ugetsu warns Atsu of the dangers beyond the gate, also explaining to her the tale of the Spider Lily General. For a quick summary on the General, it follows a Spider Lily General that used to be very proficient with the blade and later got a name for himself within war and battle, later retiring when he had a daughter. A few years later, after retiring, the general couldn't escape the battlefield, so he taught his daughter how to use a blade. While training her, he accidentally cut her, and she passed away a few days later from the cut. With the guilt of killing his own daughter, he lived in pure isolation for the rest of his life, not bearing to show his face ever again, which leads us to the abandoned gate Atsu and Ugetsu start the mission at. Already, this mission follows the themes of guilt and shame. Just the story alone already hooks the player into a horror leaking behind the gate. As Ugetsu mentions, anyone who entered these gates never came back alive. At the end of the story, Ugetsu refers to the Spider Lily General as a fearsome yokai that haunts his domain. My anticipation was already growing, and just like the player, Atsu also wanted to know just as much. As you finally make your entrance, you can hear repeated clicking noises. As you keep going, you see a dead body upon the stairs. You can also hear a very distant scream in the back, and the thick fog surrounds the area, already letting us know of the horror others may have faced. Once you climb the stairs, you find an abandoned property with a few buildings and another main gate. Upon approaching the gate, you see that it has 4 locks on it. Atsu then has the option to peek through to see what lies beyond this gate. There, Atsu watches Saito soldier being brutally stabbed in the back while trying to run away from an unidentifiable figure. Here, the mission just got started. Each of the 4 locks has clues as to where to find the keys, the first one being a pagoda, a layered building with a Southeast Asian architecture, often used as Buddhist temples, shrines, and memorials. Upon approaching the pagoda, you will find a box with a key in it, as well as a note left by the Spider Lily General written for his daughter.
You always begged me to throw you high into the air. You wanted to fly higher than the top of the pagoda.
Now with 1 out of the 4 keys, Atsu is then met by the Spider Lily General, or just an illusion of him at least. Atsu is met with a decision: act as Yuri or tell the general the truth. Now the game won't play out differently, but it's just a cool thing they added to the game.
This key must open the lock engraved with the pagoda.
Yuri, you finally returned. What I did to you, will you forgive me?
I'm not your daughter. She died.
You're confused. Find your way home, Yuri. Then we will talk.
Well, I actually like, you know what? I actually like the fact that there's no explanation. All we know is that the place is haunted, so this could be an illusion, or this could be an illusion of the general, or a way to show Atsu going crazy, talking to nobody, just like how the general is writing to nobody as his daughter is dead. The second key is located in the graveyard. On your way there, you will find some Saito soldiers searching for the armor just as you are. Halfway through defeating the Saito soldiers. The thick fog blinds you briefly, and when you get your vision back, the remaining Saito soldiers you were just fighting are all dead.
The armor is somewhere in this estate, and I am not leaving until we find it. Are you insane? We're being hunted. I don't care how much that armor is worth. We need to go before that thing kills the rest of us. Go if you want. General! You idiot! That's just a woman. I'm not taking any chances.
Trespassers! You regret coming here.
It's the general!
What was that? There's something near that body.
How did this happen? Who did it? Whoever killed the Saito soldiers chose to spare Atsu. Why did they do that? We don't know yet. None of these questions are ever answered, by the way. Once you walk past the dead bodies, you'll find the next key. Again, there's no explanation as to why this is happening. It is up to the player to make theories and interpret their own thoughts on the story. Is the myth of the Spider Lily General even true? Ever since we walked past that gate, things that should be impossible are happening right now. But just as you pick up the second key, we find another note from the Spider Lily General.
A key. And note.
They forced me to attend a funeral for you here. But I know it was a lie. You're still alive. And you will return to me one day.
He refused to believe his daughter was dead.
We learned that the general believes that his daughter is still alive and is waiting for her return. This could hint as to why he spared Atsu and why we were given the option to act as her in the first interaction. The third key is located within a maze. And not just any maze. It's more of a puzzle when you enter this maze, but it's still kind of a maze, I guess. You are met with an unfinished bamboo strike with 3 paths behind it. Choosing the right path will end up leading you to discover more bamboo strikes till you find a fully developed one. What's strange is that every time you choose a path, the game puts you right back where you started, either with a more developed bamboo strike or it would look the same as it was when you found it. How is this possible? Again, the game makes you wonder just how canon is the supernatural in the world of the Ghost of Yotei. Anyways, once you complete the puzzle on the last correct path chosen, something is different. There's now a key and a note on the bamboo strike. Who placed them here and when?
Someone left a key here. And a note.
I'm sorry I pushed you so hard when we trained here. I know you hated it, but I wanted to make you strong so you could protect yourself.
Here, we get the general's intentions. She just wanted someone that was able to protect herself, but he failed to do so, leaving him in a spiral of sorrow. He felt as if he had one job. He felt like a failure. The fourth and last key is found within a cave. As you traverse the cave, there are multiple dead bodies all around. Once you get deep enough into the cave, you will find a small area with drawings on the walls of the cave, most likely being Yuri's drawings. What was she doing in a cave that was such an established estate? Why did she have to live in this cave? Why did she have to hide here and draw here? There has to be a reason behind this. We then find a note and the final key.
There's a key and a note.
You hid from me here when you didn't want to train. I'm sorry I didn't let you paint. I come here often to remember you.
On this note, we learn that the general was strict to his daughter when it came to training. He didn't even let her do what she loved doing. We can start to feel his overflowing grief and why he's gone insane, killing everything in sight. All the general wanted to do was see his daughter once again. He wants to apologize for all the things he has done to her. He wants to apologize for the life he has given her, for all the bad treatment she received, for everything. The general has been broken. His mental state is beyond repair, with only one way to fix it. Throughout this mission, we keep on hearing an anguished wail and crows in the distance. I like how the game sets the mood and the tone of this tale. The anguished wail is the insanity of the general, crying out for his daughter, knowing that it was all his fault that things had to be this way. The dead bodies touch more on the craziness, murdering everything that enters his estate without thought. But again, why did he spare Atsu? With all the keys, Atsu finally goes back to the locked gate. Once it's open, you find a dueling ring with dried blood. Atsu figures this is where Yuri was cut by her father. You can then traverse further and find a hidden passage blocked by bamboo. Once you break this bamboo, there he is, the Spider Lily General. But something is off. He's not a haunting yokai like Ugetsu told us. He's a grieving father, weak and in a deep sadness. As soon as he makes eye contact with Atsu, he seems to recognize her. The general seems to believe Atsu is his daughter coming back to him. After all this time, meaning the first interaction, he thought Atsu was Yuri. The second time, he spared her because he'd never want to hurt his daughter again. And here, he looks her straight in the eyes and ignores Atsu's attempt at explaining. The general notices Atsu, or Yuri in his eyes, grew much stronger since the last time he's seen her and asks to see what she has learned, stating that this is her final test, and that test is to kill her father.
Yuri!
You finally returned! I've waited so long! I won't make you spar again. You can paint as much as you want.
I'm sorry. I'm not Yuri.
Wait. I see you've grown strong. Like a warrior.
I'm not Yuri. But I understand the loss you feel.
Show me what you've learned since you've been away. But be warned. I won't hold back. I need to know you're ready to face the world without me.
What I love about this part of the game is that the last test is to kill her father. He's saying that his crime was so strong that he could only pay with his life, and the only way for him to pay with his life is if his daughter takes it. He believes that this is the only way to make things right. Anyways, as the fight goes on, the general keeps apologizing to Yuri for all the mistakes he made. At first, Atsu says she's not Yuri, but as the fight goes on, Atsu realizes that it's useless. She accepts the fact that in this battle, she is indeed Yuri, the key to end the general's curse of grief. She must let him rest in peace after all the trauma he has gone through from hurting his daughter way back then.
She's unkillable!
I'm sorry I didn't let you paint.
I didn't want to fight you, father.
Unkillable!
I only wanted to teach you how to protect yourself.
You did, father. I'm strong now, thanks to you.
Such skill. I'm impressed. You can fight your own battles now. You don't need me anymore.
I don't. I'm safe.
Then I can finally rest. I love you, Yuri.
Atsu understands that the thick fog is the general's emotion. He is lost within his own thoughts and covered by an endless curtain of sadness. The endless fog represents these themes of being lost and feelings of sorrow. Yuri is the only person who can fix this by killing the spirit of her father and showing him she is ready for the real world. Once the fight ends, the general sends his last words to Yuri and his spirit fades forever. Once he fades, the weather clears, the fog is dismissed, and all the crows stop cawing. Instead, we hear birds chirping and the sun shining. This shows how the general feels once the final key to his heart has finally been unlocked. And with that, that is the Spider Lily tale. Now, I'm not gonna lie, guys, like I said, this is my favorite part of the whole game. Just the way it was actually conveyed made it such good writing, due to the fact that it wasn't just a simple bland story. There was theories to go by, there was a consistency within the horrors of the game, and then when you finally figure out like the deeper story, the weather literally changes. We are feeling the Spider Lily General's emotions. He's finally clear now. The fog is gone. There's no more crows. It's chirping birds. I just love it, man. And anyways, with that being said, this is gonna be it for the video, and bye.